It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Transylvania Tim.
Oh, and I forgot what I was saying.
This is getting worse. This is the third time we've done this intro because I tried to do a hello, but it just sounded like I was being castrated or something.
Okay, hold on. Start again. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Right.
You ready?
3. Right. Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Transylvania Tim.
And I'm Little Monster LJ. We are your spiritual guides. Stop. Oh my goodness. Do you know what?
Third time lucky.
We're here.
Are we just going for it? No, we have to do it.
Right, okay, go.
Aaron, get out. You're not helping. Right. Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Transylvania Tim.
And I'm Little Monster LJ. We are your spiritual guides that are going to bring you some spectacular musicals this Halloween season.
I think my first laugh was better.
Oh, how long did it take us to get through that?
Yeah, yes. We're tired. Welcome back, folks. I tell you what, are we treating you?
Not one, but 2.
2 episodes in the 1 week.
I know.
They'll never cope.
No. But, you know, special occasion, Halloween, we thought we would do 2 musicals.
Because Halloween's such a special occasion, isn't it? Yeah. Basically, we're not so sure that we'll be here this time next year.
Yeah.
So we're getting the 2 Halloween-esque musicals done this year in case, because you couldn't do one without doing the other. That's just not fair.
Yeah, we just thought we would do these 2. There's many more that we could have done.
Halloween, no.
Well, spooky.
Spooky?
Yeah.
What other ones are spooky that we haven't done?
This thing that I keep telling you about that we haven't quite covered yet, there's a number of musicals which make me feel uneasy.
Like?
Do you want me to name my top 5?
Oh, your top 5 musicals?
That make me feel uneasy that I can't watch.
Oh no, that needs to be an episode. But are they like spooky ones?
Well, I find them spooky.
Oh, okay, fine. Right, well, we'll need to do that soon then, so
maybe
that the
come back
listeners will
next
know.
Year.
Well, we'll see. Well, I mean, the way that intro went, I'm not so sure we've got much life left in us. Anyway, yes, so welcome back. Hopefully you have recovered from the Addams Family. Boom. Let's not do any more Addams Family because they'll be getting deja vu.
Yeah.
But here, before we get started, you have surpassed yourself.
No.
Miss LJ.
I haven't.
The little monster that you are. That was just slightly creepy. Tell me, don't tell me, I can see it in front of me. Yeah. Tell the listeners, what have you done?
So, if you go back to our waitress episode...
Sugar.
Butter.
Flat. That was flat. You were flat.
Sorry. Oh, gosh. So, if you go back to our waitress episode and you were discussing pies... And then you mentioned like blueberry and bacon and they don't go. And I said...
They don't go.
But like banana and bacon, like the Elvis cupcakes.
Uh-huh.
And I said I would make them. Now.
Yes.
As you also said on that episode, you're very busy and when would you make them? So I stayed up quite late last night.
Are you saying all this just so that if I don't enjoy them, I need to put on
It doesn't bother me if you don't enjoy them. I just mean they're definitely not decorated the way they should be.
Okay.
They're kind of slapped together.
Okay.
So there wasn't maybe that real love that Jenna would have made.
Okay.
or sort of given to pies whenever she was making them.
Okay. But you
so they're all
have
my
made me.
excuses.
So what are these called for
So
anyone
they're
out there?
called the Elvis. So they
Okay.
are devil's food cake base, like a chocolate
Okay.
base, with banana.
Okay.
And then the frosting is peanut butter frosting or buttercream with bacon and banana.
Okay.
So there's little bits of bacon in your cupcake as well.
Oh, wow. Right. Okay. Here
So
we
it's
go.
bacon, peanut butter and banana and chocolate.
Here we go.
Okay?
You ready, folks?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's like all in one there. That was a big bite. I mean, that was a big bite for something you might not like. Oh.
Get it over a bit quicker.
Okay. That sounds not promising. Okay, what are you... You're very quiet. I'm concerned. Are you... No, stop it.
Do you know what?
What?
First of all,
Yeah?
I really appreciate the time and effort that you put into it. I love
is
the
a
fact you have
criticism.
stayed up really late. That shouldn't work, but it does.
Oh, it's a Hollywood handshake.
Oh!
As close as you're going to get.
Like, I promise you the next time I make them, they will be better. Just...
But I promise you, that, I mean, they look absolutely awful.
Yeah, they do.
But they actually, the taste is really nice.
The taste does work.
But why does bacon and peanut butter and banana work?
I know.
That's weird.
I think it's the salty and sweet. Oh, you're going in for another bite? Like, it's gone.
Gone 2 bites, folks. I like that.
Okay.
I would have another one.
Okay.
I've got a few to take home.
Absolutely. Make sure you share them.
I will, don't you worry. Sure will.
Okay. So you tried
Well
it.
done. Brilliant.
Okay.
No,
Now
genuinely.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm being really rude even with my mouth full. No listeners, I mean, come back in the morning and see if I'm still alive. But at the moment, I'm really impressed. Like, I don't understand how it works, but it does work.
Yeah, it's definitely
really
that
tasty.
salty sweet mixed together.
And thank you for making them.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Because that is very nice. Because I know you're a busy girl.
I am.
Don't ask me to make it.
Okay. I wanted you to try them, really. But talking about things which maybe shouldn't work together, but does that maybe bring us on to this week's musical?
What works and what works but
No,
shouldn't?
Sci-fi musical.
Yeah. Oh, listen. I hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I can't do sci-fi. I just can't do it. In fact, this is the only sci-fi I can.
I was going to say, you understand... Oh, hold on. We've just been reminded of another sci-fi which you do like.
Oh, I do Back to the Future. That's right. Sorry. It's even better than this.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that?
I did.
We're still trying to get him to go and
Oh,
watch
come
it.
on, Aaron. Just... Christmas is coming up. Get your cupcakes and all. Come on.
Yeah, so a sci-fi musical. So what could we possibly be talking about that's not Back to the Future?
I kind of gave a clue in the intro that we recorded a couple of times.
You did.
When I said Transylvania.
You did.
Yeah, so this week we are looking at a Rocky horror show.
Yes. I think it's our accent.
Horror. Yeah, because a Northern Ireland accent is like horror.
Horror.
So Rocky I can't do it. Rocky Horror. Oh my goodness.
I know. Rocky Horror?
Horror.
Horror.
How do the English say it?
Rocky Horror.
Horror show? That sounds
Horror
wrong.
show? I mean, anyway. Rocky...
Horror. Rocky Horror Show. There we go.
Got it.
Honestly, yeah. So this musical with music and lyrics and book.
Yes, it's a trilogy.
It is a trilogy by the legend that is Richard O'Brien of... He was Crystal Maze fame, wasn't he, as well?
He was.
I can do sound effects as well.
You can.
Doodle-doo.
What?
Doodle-doo. Isn't that in...
I thought you were going into...
Yeah,
what was that?
That's in it as...
That's
right.
X-Men.
I don't know. Yeah, it's the old X-Men thing. That's the 1990s X-Men thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's what it
Well,
sounded like.
This humorous tribute to sci-fi and horror B movies of the 1930s through to the early 1960s, the musical tells the story of a newly engaged couple getting caught in a storm and coming to the home of the mad transvestite scientist Dr. Frank-N-Furter, unveiling his new creation Rocky, a sort of Frankenstein-style monster in the form of... Pardon me?
Igor.
Okay.
Because Frankenstein is the creator, not the name of the monster. People get that wrong. I'm just correcting you.
Holy moly. We got a sci-fi geek in our midst.
Is Igor not Dr. Frankenstein's assistant rather than his creation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, Frankenstein is not the name of the monster. It's
Yes,
the
it
name.
is.
It's not.
Frankenstein.
It's not the name of the monster.
What's
Frankenstein.
the monster called?
Frankenstein's monster.
Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, well, so they didn't even blooming name the monster.
No.
Gary.
But if you had let me finish my sentence,
sorry.
it would have said, unveiling his new creation Rocky, a sort of Frankenstein-style monster. So the style of Frankenstein.
Okay, all right. I'll let you away with it.
The monster
Sorry
that
for interrupting
Frankenstein did create. God, that's repeating on me, that cupcake. Fully grown, physically perfect muscle man,
Blonde hair and tan.
complete with a blonde hair and a tan, and good lame pants. And this is where I stand up.
Oh!
In your dreams, love. In your dreams. Aaron's eyes nearly popped out of his putting the glasses on. Folks, I wouldn't do that. I would have done it if Amazon had delivered them on time, but Amazon have not delivered them. So there will be no gold lame this week. Maybe next week, folks.
Maybe
Come
next
back.
week. Oh, I was really looking forward to that too.
I was really looking forward to it as well.
My therapist was looking forward to it.
Yeah. So yes, Rocky, the buff muscle man, Frankenstein style monster. He basically struts around this whole show in nothing but gold lame pants. I mean, that's why they go back time and time again, isn't it? The audiences, let's be honest.
Of course.
The show was produced and directed by Jim Sharman. The original London production premiered at the Royal Court Theatre upstairs.
Oh!
Love to know where that is. I know where the Royal Court Theatre is. Is it
like a wee cabaret setting?
I would say it would have been for the style of this show in 1973. Yeah. The team was perfect in their timing of this show.
Yeah.
Because it was still less than 5 years since the laws on censorship over British theatre had been removed. So those censorship laws and restrictions had just been removed, and Richard O'Brien slaps him in the face with
Get it?
a show that's quite risque and out there and in your face.
Yeah.
Good for you, Mr. O'Brien, is what I say.
Absolutely.
Who was it? Lord Chamberlain? Slap it up. Wasn't he the one that brought in the censorship laws?
Sounds about right.
Aye. I mean, you're the history buff, not me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the show wasn't actually, believe it or not, because this show is massive in its cult status.
Absolutely.
Now. But it wasn't actually an overnight success. The Royal Court was only a 63-seater venue, and it wasn't until the show was moved to an old cinema on the King's Road that the wider public could really start rolling in, which I thought was very interesting. Still a success in the UK was not enough to also guarantee an American triumph. So despite the transatlantic transfer for Tim Curry, who played Dr. Frank-N-Furter, and I'm sure we will talk about that legend a lot more later, whose turn as Frank-N-Furter made him a star, and also some of the other cast that went from London to Broadway, including Meat Loaf.
Yes.
Its debut stateside at the Roxy Theatre in Los Angeles, followed by a Broadway transfer, was a disaster. Rocky Horror's American adventure lasted only 45 performances after opening night, which is just mental.
Whenever you think about it, where it is now, that's crazy.
I know, that's it. The musical was then adapted in 1975 for a film starring O'Brien himself as Riff Raff, who is kind of like Frank-N-Furter's butler. Yeah. With Curry reprising his role as Dr. Frank-N-Furter again. The film has the longest running release in film history.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, gradually word caught on that this was like a new cult entertainment, and traditions started to spring up, including fans having a large repertoire of audience participation points. They started bringing props, hurling rice at the stage in the wedding scene, shouting things at the characters at certain different times, which I was totally unaware of when I first saw this show, and literally was ready to complain to the theatre usher, going, "Are we going to do something about these people? They're interrupting the performers," until I clocked on and went, "Oh, this is a thing. Yeah. This is what you're supposed to do,
and this is acceptable for this performance."
I mean, I don't think it's ever acceptable to shout "slut" at one of the actresses,
but for this,
it was. She was being a slut.
It was, and it is.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do it when we've spoken about this before. You don't sing your Whitney Houston favourite song during Bodyguard. You don't sing whatever song that you love from Hamilton during Hamilton.
No.
You let the professionals do it. But in this setting, which it has become, it is okay to do.
Yeah. It's free reins.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No holds barred.
No, absolutely not.
And, I mean, I don't think I've seen the show a couple of times, and I don't think I've ever gone where at least 2/3 of the auditorium aren't in fancy dress.
Yes, and funny, I was talking to Caitlin about this. So her and Jamie went to see a production of Rocky as one of their first dates. She said she felt uncomfortable because they weren't dressed up.
Oh no, you feel like
out of place,
you're crashing a party. Do you know what I mean? That you weren't invited to. Yeah.
It's amazing. So obviously you said it opened in the West End in 1973. So what's that, 50 years? Mm-hmm. And whenever we research musicals, you can see I think 6 is the most we've seen for revivals, or Yeah,
6 revivals.
6 revivals of the show.
I was getting confused by the musical 6 there.
Yeah. 6 revivals. And whenever you look at the dates of Rocky Horror, it's just every 2 years there's something, a tour, another tour, a revival or whatever. I mean, so we had 1973, then in 2023 there's been a West End revival.
Yeah.
So we had the film in 1975, but then a TV film in 2016.
Yeah.
But pretty much since then it's just constant.
And then
it's amazing.
And then all these other TV drama shows, the likes of Glee and I think Riverdale. I think they've all had episodes, where they've performed or had a nod to Rocky Horror Show, which is just so.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
isn't
it is crazy.
It has been ranked 8th on BBC Radio 2's number 1 musicals.
That's right, yeah.
Because
I was really sad and watched that whole programme. It was about 6 hours.
Amazing. But 8 I still think is really high for this type of musical.
Yeah.
And the Royal Mail gave it a special stamp in 2011.
That's class.
How amazing is that?
Yeah. For one man's work, that sounds awful because obviously a lot of people are behind the scenes in making a musical, but the fact that Richard O'Brien did the 3 biggies himself, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The music, the lyrics, and wrote the book, that is...
And that doesn't happen a lot. The other one that we know that is true for is Hamilton.
Yes.
And there's you can count them maybe on 2 hands, the amount of people. Ooh.
Did you know that... how this came about was really interesting too, because O'Brien is obviously a performer, or was a performer in his own right, and he had been cast as Herod in Jesus Christ Superstar, and he actually left the production because he objected to his choreography. So he then became unemployed, and that's when he wrote Rocky Horror Show.
have been a really interesting
Yeah,
Herod.
they'd been class. They'd have been a class Herod. But I would love to have known what the choreography was that he disagreed with or objected to, yeah. But yeah, so if he hadn't walked out of that job, I'm sure he would have written it at some point. But
you never know.
That's kind of cool, isn't it? How it all came about. Yeah.
Wow.
You've seen it, I presume?
I have just seen the film.
Oh, okay, so you've never seen it live?
I've never seen it
the next
live.
time it comes, we should go. Like, it is an experience to behold, seeing it and experiencing it in a live theatre. Like, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so unlike what we come to expect.
Or what we find acceptable.
Yeah, in a theatre setting. But you get carried along. Now, I didn't shout things at the performance.
You didn't shout
but
bad words.
No. I maybe did get up and do the time
Oh,
warp.
of course.
And that's the thing, like another like really iconic party dance like the time warp came from
Musical.
this.
Came from a musical.
Which is insane.
Isn't it?
Like I don't think there is any other party dances that have come from a musical. No.
Certainly not that I can think of the top of my head.
Yep, so there you go. That's Rocky Horror Show.
Yeah. Do you like it?
I love it, yeah. Now, I think it was one of those shows, and the film as well, to be honest, that you kind of have to give it a couple of goes.
I was going to say, it's a grower.
Yeah, to become fully comfortable or aware of what's going on. Or there's an element of you have to accept what it is. Do you know what I mean? You've got to allow yourself to get carried away into this kind of mad kind of world for 2 hours of an evening.
Yeah. So I asked, as I've spoken about before on the podcast, my dad isn't a musical theatre fan, apart from a few, but definitely not massive musical theatre fan. But he does love Rocky Horror.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has seen it a couple of times as well. So I asked him, like, what was this like whenever, especially the film came out? And he said it was you were very aware that it was a funny, it was meant to be humorous. So I said, well, what about the fact that it's very open sexually and like there's a lot of like fluid actions going on and all
it's
of that.
It's very queer in its approach, isn't it?
And which wouldn't have been the norm for the time.
Back then, no. It was a really brave choice of O'Brien.
Really? And Dad said you just found it humorous. And it was just one of those, it was done in a way you were going, oh my goodness, look at that, what's going on? And I said, well, what about the role of Frank-N-Furter? Because there's numerous men that I know would love to play that role. And he said, I think it was more Tim Curry and his portrayal of that role.
It's such a fascinating part.
Yeah.
Because he is dressed in suspenders and corset. But like he gets that mix so perfect of being queer and camp, but also being really, really manly and intimidating and quite scary. Like, there's something not human about his approach.
Yes.
It's just so multi-layered.
Yeah.
But Tim Curry, there's two people who have done it phenomenally. Tim Curry, obviously, because he's the original and there will never be anyone better. But the other person that I've seen playing Frank-N-Furter, who is the closest I think you'll ever see, is David Bedella.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll come on with connections.
His Frank-N-Furter was just unbelievable. Like, I still remember it. Do you know what I mean? And I've seen him a couple of times doing it, but it also just means that any other Frank-N-Furter that I've seen since isn't.
Yeah, it just hasn't compared.
You can't compare it to Tim Curry in the film or David Bedella on stage. Like, and they get that mix so brilliantly.
I think that's what
perfect.
Dad said as well. It was that confidence.
Yeah.
And it was something that you were just drawn to.
Yeah.
Dad and Mum, whenever they seen it, it was Jason Donovan. And again, he said, a good
attempt.
That
sounds awful. That
I know, and
so
it's not,
brutal.
it certainly wasn't taken away from that performance. It just, Tim Curry has something special. But we'll talk more about him later on.
Yeah. So, What did we learn? Any musical lyrical lingos?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So just, I suppose now we don't really see it, but that double feature is the fact that you would have went to the cinema and seen 2 films.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Probably for the price of one.
Exactly. And a lot of in that first opening number, which is all about that. It's kind of set in a movie theatre, isn't it? The usher comes on and sings the song. She also then makes reference to all these various sci-fi movies, which I had no idea about. So, like, she sings about Michael Rennie was ill the day the earth stood still. Had no idea what that was a reference to, and that was a reference to the film The Day the Earth Stood Still,
which he was in, and he was a British film TV,
there you go,
but stage actor as well.
Yeah, and that film dealt with like the theme of alien visitation. Is that right?
Yeah.
You see, I mean, I went to see Men in Black. That's the closest I've ever got. That's the closest I've ever got to a sci-fi movie. And I just not. But you see, when that first alien jumped out in Men in Black, I near jumped into the row behind me. I'm not going to lie to you. And I just went, I knew at that age, and I must have been, 11 or 12. I went, do you know what?
Not for you.
This shit's not for me. And I genuinely don't think I've ever seen a sci-fi film since, until I saw Back to the Future in the theatre and went, I should really watch the film. Yeah. So I came and watched the film.
I know that is sci-fi, but to me that's not. To me, sci-fi is more aliens. Yeah. I know it's not. I know it's not, but to me that's what I see a sci-fi film as, is that aliens coming down from outer space trying to take over the world. Well, Back to the Future is just time travel. I don't see that as, I understand it's science fiction.
Yeah.
But it's not what I see.
I mean, I think Aaron is like sharpening his hatchet underneath
I know. He's
he's going to cut my head off at some point.
Science fiction's life.
He's going to get the chainsaw out from the...
So it also mentions Flash Gordon. Did you at least know Flash Gordon?
But here's
Flash.
the thing. Yeah, flat. Touche. Yes. Again, I'd heard of him, and I kind of knew a rough reference to it, but I wouldn't have been able to give you an essay on who Flash Gordon was.
Space opera.
He watched spandex. He wore spandex like leggings as well, didn't he? He did, with like blonde like hair. Is that not Flash?
I just know Brian Blessed was in it. And the Queen sang the music.
The Queen sang the
music? No, not the Queen. Not the Queen. Queen.
Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Was it not Queen? Was it just Freddie?
No, it was, but I swear I thought I heard you say
the Queen.
Oh, do you know what? I bet you.
You did.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
And Elizabeth's rocking like the theme tune.
Okay. Claude Rains then is also mentioned.
Yeah.
And he was an actor.
Any of these people.
And he played Dr. Jack Griffin in The Invisible Man. So
next, no idea. Literally, that first number made 0 sense to me for many years. In fact, it was probably the first couple of goes that I saw seeing the show or on the film before I went, I think I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. It's actually referencing. It's going to tell me sort of what's about to happen.
Give me Legally Blonde any time. More.
Celluloid?
Did they sing about a celluloid jam?
Yeah, and it says, which is a flammable thermoplastic material used in sheets, rods and tubes for making a wide range of articles.
In space or something?
Must be. I don't know.
Very good.
It also mentions Leo G. Carroll's.
Leo G. Carroll's was something,
and he was
something
in
barrels.
Hitchcock movies, but a Hitchcock movie that, do you know, Aaron? You do know it. North by Northwest.
You're a big like sci-fi horror-y fanny person, aren't you?
I would watch sci-fi and horror. Yeah, I suppose it's...
Yeah.
I think the answer to that is yes.
Do you watch it behind a pillow like I would have to?
No.
Okay, see, I would see very little of it because I'd be looking through like my wee fingers.
Same. I don't like anything that makes me go, ooh, that's a bit spooky or scary, or that's not all sunshine and roses. Rainbows.
Unicorns with something. That's all in, what's it called? that last musical we talked about.
So Triffid, is this right? Triffid is also mentioned. Triffid. It says any species of fictional plants that supposedly grew to a gigantic size and could kill humans.
That's Little Shop of Horror. That's Sultry too.
Yeah.
Feed me. Bum. You've just recently watched Little Shop of Horrors, haven't you?
I got halfway through and fell asleep.
Oh, for goodness
But it was
sake.
good. The first half's excellent.
So you will watch the second half at some point?
Friday.
Friday.
It's in the
Friday, it's his jam.
It's always Friday.
Always Friday. That's why you fell asleep, is it? Because it was a Friday, not that you were bored.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Anything else from that song?
No, that's a lot in one song, to be fair.
Isn't it?
Yeah. No, yes, as I said, that song lost me for many years. So this one's a wee bit of an interesting one.
Uh-huh.
So I obviously heard the soundtrack to Rocky Horror long before I saw the movie or the film.
Okay.
Because I think I heard everybody knew the time warp.
Yeah.
And someone randomly decided to tell me that the time warp was from a musical, and immediately my ears prick up and go, really? So then you go and listen to the rest of the musical, and I listened to the first song that Dr. Frank-N-Furter sings when he makes his entrance, dressed in his stockings, high heels, suspenders, corsets, and his big, massive, flowy gown with I love the big high collar.
Yeah.
It's class, isn't it? Like vampire-esque. That's like those wee touches are so class in this show. And then he sings Sweet Transvestite. Well, I just thought this number was brilliant. And I did prance about the house singing I'm just a sweet transvestite for many years, not really knowing what I was singing about. So I didn't know what a sweet transvestite was until I was introduced to it in Rocky Horror Show.
Okay.
I do a fantastic sweet transvestite.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, that is something I definitely have not seen over the years. Sweet transvestite.
Do the backing vocals as well.
Oh gosh, a full show.
I know.
And then do you quickly do a change to get into the hot pants and be Rocky?
Well, Rocky has only come about this year because I've started going to the gym. Yes.
Okay.
Oh but gosh, no! I would never have tried a Rocky until this year.
Oh,
yeah.
You've grown.
Just wait for the one-man show, Lauren. That's all I'm saying. It's coming. It's coming.
Putting the horror in Rocky Horror.
You're fired. Yes. So yes.
Okay. So did you learn anything apart from, what you were singing? Did you learn anything else
in that number? I can't say I did, but what did you learn?
It mentions
Steve Reeves movie.
And Steve Reeves was a USA bodybuilder, and he played Hercules in the Hercules films.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so
no, I didn't know that. I
just
sang that line. How about we took an old Steve Reeves
So we've mentioned time warp.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything in time warp, or did you know
It's
everything?
just a step to the right.
Apart
Put your hands on your hips and bend your knees in time. And there's a pelvic thrust that really drives you insane. I mean, I learned the whole dance routine, if that's what you mean.
Apart from that, did you learn anything else in it?
No.
So you kind of knew everything in that, did you?
Oh, no, I think I just sang it and danced it, to be fair.
So it mentions to be voyeuristic.
Oh, that's me. Oh, no, it's not me. Oh, God, it's not. Oh, God, it's not. It's not. I don't know what I was thinking there, but it's definitely not. Oh, God, what have I said?
Oh, my goodness. I need to compose myself.
I was too quick to answer there. I am so not voyeuristic, I promise. Oh, dear God. Oh, God, I'll never work again.
Okay. What is?
Well, that's when you're like, you're not afraid of like showing things off.
Well, it actually just means somebody who gets pleasure from secretly watching others, especially
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Especially in sexual situations. So, I love...
What was I trying... what was I thinking of? What was I...
I love that you have just openly admitted...
Oh my goodness. I am actually getting a sweat on here.
I honestly think you must have thought it was a different word.
Yes. No, I really did.
No, I know. Well, anyway, that's what I learned.
It's like when we were doing The Little Mermaid one time, and the wee, oh God, I'm going to get myself in so much trouble telling you this story. The wee fish are called nymphs.
Oh, right. And
I said, oh, look at my wee cute nymphomaniacs. And at that time, that was when the parents stayed in for the classes, and they all just went... And I went, what? I had to go and look it up in the dictionary.
Oh, Timothy.
So, the word was in my brain, but I didn't know what it meant. And I think I've literally just done the same thing right there.
I think you have. Is there another word like foyer or something that he is mixing it up with? No, it all
okay. Means the same thing.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's okay. I was trying to...
I know, that's why you're my friend.
God,
okay. I'm so dead.
Okay, let's move on. In Eddie's Teddy, which is sung by the science professor.
Yeah.
Okay. He keeps saying "und" instead of "and," which I thought it was a typo.
Yeah, but it is.
That's a word.
What is that?
It means well. It's an interjection.
Oh.
So I just thought every time I've looked at it that they've spelt "and" wrong.
You see, I get rid of that character. I don't see what the relevance is there.
But is he not the narrator?
Eddie's Teddy? Is that not? No, is he? Is that not the role that Meatloaf played?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. But I thought you were talking about get rid of Eddie's Teddy, not get rid of the doctor or the professor.
No.
Confused.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't Eddie's Teddy the rock and roll kind of?
He's that
appears for one song, then gets chopped up by Frank-N-Furter, and then that's him. Yeah. Guys, I can't recover from that absolute blip there. We might need to cut that out, Lauren. I could be in big trouble. Over at Frankenstein's place, which Brad and Janet, the newly married couple, when they get a flat, how about that? They get a flat tire. They see a light coming from Frankenstein's place. And one of the lyrics says, "The darkness must go down the river of night's dreaming, flow Morpheus slow, let the sun and light come streaming into my life." Morphia. I didn't know what morphia was. It was an old-fashioned term for morphine.
Oh, okay.
So basically, let's go flowing nice and slow, like you're a wee bit doped.
Yeah.
Then the Sword of Damocles, which is Rocky's song. Had no idea what that was until I Googled it this week. Still didn't understand it.
You are
ridiculous, I know.
Because I brought it up in our Beetlejuice episode.
Selective listening.
So what is it?
Any situation threatening imminent harm or disaster. That makes sense with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he actually sings it. The Sword of Damocles is swinging.
Sorry. I've really let myself down in this episode.
No, but also I like that I didn't recognise that was a song in Rocky Horror. So in Beetlejuice, that could be also a reference to another Halloween-y type
musical. I hear you. Yeah. So that's what I learnt. Voyeurism is not something I learnt from the musical. I just want to put it on record.
You did. You learned it today.
Oh, I've learnt exactly that I am not involved in any of that. Thank you. Oh my God. Okay. What was I thinking?
I don't know. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Planet Schmanet Janet.
Planet Schmanet
A transducer? DUCER, is an electronic device that converts energy from one form to another.
Do you know I did know that?
Did you?
That's probably the most science I know.
Oh, go you, did not know.
Yeah.
And that was all my musical lyrical lingos. Like, I felt like I learned a lot from this musical.
Yes.
This episode.
I mean, I'm still learning. Very much still learning.
But it definitely is a musical where, like you said before, you've got to go into it with like fresh eyes and just accept what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, don't try and make it something that it's not. It's kind of taking a mick of those 1930s to 1960s sci-fi films.
100%, yeah.
And just enjoy the ride.
Which is crazy and wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Any other connections?
Not really. Just remembering seeing David Badella do it. Mm-hmm. And then he came back many years later was playing the villain in the pantomime.
So he played Flesh Creep in Jack and the Beanstalk, which was CJ's first pantomime.
There you go.
And she was a little brownie and he had to pick her up.
That's right, I remember that bit.
And I remember being there for something and him explaining that he was... He had been in Rocky Horror, so I went and Googled him and all of that stuff.
Yeah, because obviously I was there helping with the kids. It was a wee bit like starstruck. I was
really?
like, oh my goodness, it's Frank-N-Furter. Like, he played Frank-N-Furter and he's standing right there. And he was the most lovely man. Mm-hmm. Like, he was really, really lovely. Like, he was lovely with the kids. Yeah. He was really polite to everybody backstage. Like, he was, because he's big. Like, he's a big star in, like, certainly musical theatre here. Mm-hmm. But I also think in America as well, was he not in Jerry Springer the Opera? Do you remember that was a big, like, sensational, culty kind of, like, show? And it went to Broadway for a bit, didn't it? Yeah, so I think, and like, it got a massive cult following at the time. It was ridiculous. Like, it's one of the few soundtracks that I've listened to and gone, I don't think I can finish anymore. I can't listen to anymore. It was a bit...
It's a bit odd.
Bit odd, aye.
Bit odd.
But yeah, no, him. You know, in the movie, Susan Sarandon, she reportedly caught pneumonia.
Did she? From
the pool scene, because it was so cold and the shot took so long.
What?
And also where they were recording, like they were up against it time-wise because they were basically being kicked out of the venue because they were overrunning on the amount of time they had that venue to shoot the film. Yeah.
Whoa.
So they're kind of some fun trivia, like film facts that I learned.
And also, did you know, so Rocky Horror is famous for the lips?
Yeah, that's the kind of the logo, isn't it?
Which is, it is the mouth of the character Magenta.
Yeah.
And the girl that played Magenta is Patricia Quinn, and she is from Northern Ireland.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. Yeah. So her lips are like really famous. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's best known for her role of Magenta in the 1975 musical comedy horror film. And she also did it on stage as well as a film. So yeah, she's from Northern Ireland.
That's class.
And it's you know, whenever you think of Rocky Horror, you think of those lips.
Yeah.
So it's pretty.
That is really cool.
Pretty cool.
As is Tim Curry.
Yeah.
He's
absolutely.
pretty awesome. We can't really talk about this musical and not kind of take a moment to talk about him.
Though, can I just say that we actually seen Richard O'Brien in real life?
You did? Or we did? Okay.
Know.
What?
You'll not remember.
No.
So it was 1997 and we were doing Jack and the Beanstalk.
Okay.
The pantomime. And we had to walk through the stalls on our way. There was something wrong and we had to walk through them anyway to get up to our dressing room. And Richard O'Brien is standing and he was sort of looking at the Opera House stage and sort of talking to somebody about doing this, doing that there. But we were like, it's the man from Crystal Maze.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. You have such a memory.
And I remember because I was like, that's him. And he was so lovely. He was like, you know, obviously we were so well disciplined, and we were like, don't talk to anybody, and just walk, and because there was loads of times there was meetings or whatever going on before the panto would have taken place. And he let us go past, and he said hello, and I remember looking at him and smiling, and being like, "Oh my goodness, he's on the telly!"
That's really cool.
And then coming home and saying to Dad, Richard O'Brien was in the opera today, and Dad getting really excited and being like, "Oh my goodness, you must be bringing Rocky Horror to Belfast." Now it took a few years for it to come to
That's
Belfast,
really
but
cool.
Isn't that interesting?
It's funny. When just after COVID, King Charles now, he did a couple of rounds of different places, and he actually came to the Opera House to reopen it. They had just gone through a refurb during the whole COVID period, and I had been involved in putting together like a small performance with some of the youth theatre kids. So I was there in attendance, but the show that was in that week was Rocky Horror. So we then performed for King Charles our performance on the stage in front of the Rocky Horror set.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool, like seeing up close, like the set with like the goblins, and like the detail on the set was really, really cool. But I also thought, this is really weird, meeting at that time the future king in front of the Rocky Horror set. I'm not so sure King Charles would go and see Rocky Horror, but who knows? You never know.
You never know.
You never know. Yeah. It's funny how small moments like that are all kind of linked together.
It's interesting.
Any standing ovations?
Well, it has to be Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I have only seen him and I've only seen the film, but
How You Do I
think just
it's iconic.
The way he performs that, and we've talked about that a couple of times, you can sing a song and just sing a song, but the performance that he gives, the way that he makes you believe that he definitely is that Dr. Frank-N-Furter is unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. He is sublime, and he looks so cool. He's so attractive.
Yeah.
Even with all the get-up and all, it's like, wow, like he just rocks it. Nobody would have seen an image like that.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
Until Rocky Horror came about. Like, it was just really... He's just iconic. That's only words you can use to describe him. Yeah. And I love him in everything he's in. I love him in Home Alone as well. Like when he plays in Home Alone 2. Yeah. Like he's just, anything he's put his hand to in his career has always been so memorable and special. He's just
fantastic actor. And I think there's a thing that goes about, you can tell what age a person is by how they know Tim Curry.
Yeah, that's true.
So is it Rocky Horror? Is it Home Alone? Is it It?
Yeah. That's it. I agree with you, like Tim Curry, and I suppose on stage, because we didn't see Tim Curry on stage, but David Badella also is a stand ovation for me. And I love, of all the brilliant songs, like which there's many in Rocky Horror, I love I'm Going Home.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's a bit like what I was saying in the last episode about Gomez. Some of Gomez's songs, like just, amongst the madness, then all of a sudden there's this like really heartfelt, lovely song. And I think Frank-N-Furter's I'm Going Home, where he's talking about going back to the planet... Yeah. Whatever, I can't remember what planet he came from. Because he's an alien.
I know, that's what it is.
The whole time.
They're all
not
all
an
aliens.
antennae to be seen.
No. They're all aliens.
All aliens, yeah. But he sings this, and it's quite sad, actually. I find. I get like a longing? Sad. Well, yeah, because he's made connections with, like... everyone. Some people he's made more of a connection with, and all. That's the other thing, that scene where he's basically He's having a bit of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so funny. It's hilariously scripted.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny scene.
And also how refreshing as well, like whenever you're looking back, that Richard O'Brien wrote it, but didn't put himself as like the main character.
Yeah, I know. I thought that says a lot about the man. He played Riff Raff, didn't he? And a brilliant Riff Raff he was too.
Again, he's very iconic in that role.
Yeah.
You know, other people can play it, but whenever you think of it, I think that's a testament to how good the original cast were, is because no matter what has come, you do remember the originals.
They're a bit like, and they're also like how they look and how they're played are a bit of a carbon copy to the original. Do you know what I mean? Like all Riff Raffs kind of certainly look in their makeup and their get-up and their costume like Richard O'Brien.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They have the same builds, the same kind of facial look. Like it's been modelled very much upon the original person that plays those parts.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely, I hear you. Here, in the last episode, I asked you to think about, there's very few Halloween movies that have been made into musicals. We've mentioned obviously 3 now. We've kind of Beetlejuice. Yep. Rocky Horror and Addams Family.
Yeah.
But is there any Halloween movies out there that you can think of that you think would be perfect to put onto stage?
Well, what about Hocus Pocus?
100. I'm so glad you said that. Like, why has that not happened?
I know.
I get excited every Halloween just because I can watch Hocus Pocus.
You can watch it at any time of the year.
I know, but it's not right. It's
no,
not
I get
right.
it. But just when you're an adult and
but
you can...
what's really exciting is now there's 2 films we can
I know,
watch.
and I like it. And we have spoken about this before. 2. We quite like the second movie as well because it wasn't trying to be the original. It's a movie that does kind of sit separate, but it's just a fun movie.
I think it would be amazing to see those 3 witches on stage.
I think so too.
And it'd be brilliant if when it opened, it did open with them.
Wouldn't it?
Like Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker.
It would be brilliant.
What's the third one? I've forgotten her name.
I don't know her name.
I can't remember.
It's okay.
Just called Winifred, the character. What about this one?
What?
Ghostbusters. Oh. I think Ghostbusters would be a class musical.
So.
Can you imagine?
We have a friend who is a Ghostbuster.
What?
We have a friend who is a Ghostbuster.
That's his job. He actually goes and busts ghosts.
He's a Ghostbuster. And he is
ghost.
Wonderful. He is great. And he takes his role as a Ghostbuster really seriously.
Are you being serious with me right now?
Yeah, I'm being serious with you. So he'll go to all the Comic-Cons and all of those. And
it's worth saying it's not his job.
It's not his job.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Last time, no, he doesn't. He hasn't made a career of.
Busting ghosts. No, I genuinely thought there were such things as ghosts and he went and bust them.
It's not his job, but it does make him feel good. So he goes round hospitals, conventions.
Oh, amazing. Dressed as a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, and he does like parades and stuff. Yeah.
Would he be in a musical?
So he was telling me not that long ago that there is not a musical, but like a play of Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So he is able to find it, and he was like, I'd love to come on and chat about it one day. So
that's so weird that I've just brought that up then. Does he listen to the podcast?
He does.
Well, then he can come on.
Yeah. So, but yes, a musical
I think would be class.
Would be entertaining.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Do you think it would have to be done like comically?
I think script-wise, I think there would definitely be an element of comedy because the film's a comedy film, really. Mm-hmm. But I think it opens itself up loads. Like I think you could go really, like you could do stuff with the car, and like you could almost like Back to the Future, like you could do like car sequences on stage where they're like racing to the ghost. Like the ghost could be really coolly done. And I could just see them like doing like almost like boy band numbers, like as the Ghostbusters. Do you know what I mean? Like, I see them almost like Grease Lightning, like them standing on the car with their big guns and like kind of pshoo pshoo.
Do you know what? You're probably giving somebody a really good idea.
Can you imagine it? Like you can just hear that guitar riff now.
Love it.
Like and like. I see like street dancing and stuff. Like, yeah.
Love it.
I've got it.
I think you've
in my
already
head.
written it. You've already written
Anyone who wants to sign me up and give me lots of money.
it. Yeah, we do that. A little film that I love, and it's as scary as I watch, called Halloween Town. It's a wee Disney movie. That would be a great musical. It's about a girl who doesn't realise that she's a witch.
Ooh.
Her granny lives in Halloween Town and she's the witch, and she goes and visits, and then she realises that she has powers. It's a really cool Disney movie.
That does sound good.
But it's got quite a good storyline.
It has elements of bed knobs and broomsticks for me.
Yes! Similar.
It was
and
a
it's a
good,
musical.
yeah, I saw it on its UK tour. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I did have another one in my head that's just popped out.
Oh, do you have one, Aaron?
No. Maybe Scream might be
No,
a good musical.
not doing it.
No, I'm not asking you to. I just think it might make a good musical. Although I can't help but think that Halloween Town sounds like it was written on the back of a napkin.
No, it's great.
You know,
I'm going to make you watch it.
She didn't realise she was a witch, but her granny lived in Halloween Town.
Aye, her granny
come
just
on.
only comes and visits. No, she's never been to Halloween Town before.
The
The
town's
first time.
called Halloween Town.
Aye, but she doesn't know where her granny lives. Honestly, you've got to watch it.
I'm just putting it out there, domestic. This could be the biggest car crash of an episode we've ever had.
I mean, it's very entertaining.
A failed intro.
Yeah.
Me, I have no idea what I said midway through. And now you're having a domestic at the end. Happy Halloween. It brings out the cookie in all of us.
The
That's it.
episode's cursed.
That's why he's here. Clever executive producer. Yeah, we are. I definitely am cursed. I just want to put it out there that I have never been involved in any voyeuristic endeavours. Thank you. Contact my lawyer. Oh my god, it's over. Done
Oh, and you know what? We hopefully will be back at some point.
I'm not so sure. I think I could be cancelled after this.
Non-Halloween episodes.
This is Halloween. That's it.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, has that been made into a musical?
No, but that's what Ethan was saying in our Addams family.
Yeah.
He would love that.
That's right.
Yeah, and he would like to play Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to put on a local production of
That would
Nightmare
be
Before
dead.
Christmas.
That would be dead cool, like a wee youth production of like this. This is not.
Oh, yeah, it
that
could work,
That would be
wouldn't it?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, well, we'll hopefully be back at some point with a new episode of a musical.
Who knows what musical that could be?
Who knows?
We're hoping contractually we're able to maybe
Release one.
release one that we have been sitting on for a while now.
If not, we will be back.
We'll be back if I'm allowed back.
If you're allowed.
Oh,
The alternative
Dear
is he
goodness.
watches through the window.
okay. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.